Welcome to the family of the YMCA, and I'm honored to be here with a host of many dignitaries around, and those who are going to make this program a very good success, I will say that. And some of you have come from very far. It's not a joke to come all the way from Mizoram, especially. I welcome all of you to our humble abode, and I hope that you have a pleasant day, and not forgetting all the facts, the young YMCA students, those you need to know what it's all about, so that one day you also become a true leader of your own place, wherever you are. You can be a leader for your home, for your district, for your village, for your state, for your country, and so on. And there are a lot of ample opportunity. So please do not shy away, and please do not have a second thought about the YMCA, because there are a lot of program that comes up. Except that we need to be a bit streamlining to be done, especially in Northeast, because we are not able to get the as the mainlanders, they have a lot of several opportunities, because even commuting becomes very easy. But for us, it becomes quite tough because of many factors. And we know those who are in the YMCA working, we know what are the actual factors, like there's a bit of clogging or there's a bit of hurdle. But anyway, nevertheless, we are still trying to make the best of whatever we can and we can achieve. And I'm thankful to the media people who have come tagging along, because it is through you that we can also propagate what is all this good program is about. So I hope you have a very pleasant stay. I hope you have the best of the time that you can think about. And the theme about leadership and responsibility is actually very beautiful, I would say that. Everybody in us, we have a leadership quality. We just need to search inside deep and we find the leadership quality. We need to take out that quality within us and be a responsible person, I would say that. And also share the responsibility to others, because responsibility is something like, we all like to do something, but responsibility becomes, nobody would like to take responsibility. Because responsibility means something that you have to be disciplined, you have to be honored, you have to really think deep and then say that I need to be a person with integrity. Because responsibility is actually all about integrity, and even a good leadership is about integrity. Many of us, when we come in front of integrity, we fail. And that's what lacking, And especially in Nagaland, I feel that a person with integrity and discipline is very much sought after right now. Because we are not able to make the ends meet. We always seem to be doing my way or the highway or kushi in our language, and we call it kushi means you want to do as you wish, That's not the way, A true leadership, a true person with good responsibility does not do that. They think for the others more better than your own self. Empathy, sympathy is there. They feel for the others more than your own self. So I guess, as in the Bible they say, like, love your neighbors as thyself. I think that will go very much with this leadership and responsibility concern. So I hope that we all look up to this, and I hope that we do not become a selfish leaders or responsible, selfish responsibility that we take it, but I hope we take it with good integrity. And I hope that we come out and commute together with like a brothers, good sisters together. And I hope that we all come together, join hands, and make this country, or make wherever you stay, an ideal place and the best place that we can live for.
I'm very honored to be invited by our respected president of YMCA Dimapur, Dr. Anugrah Motto. Frankly, I can not refuse his invitations, because he has been a very exemplary person who had shouldered responsibilities, although he may not have been built for it, but he has acquired and learned it. So I really am very happy. He's still very young and many more years to go. He has been tested in politics and proved himself well and credible. Now he's being promoted upwards to the national level. Just hope that he will continue to keep his vision clear, as he believed in his upbringing to be an instrument. So all of us, YMCA, it's not only YMCA, but all those who believe in Christ, we are to be the salt and light of this world. And especially in today's context, without speaking too much about the external things that are happening, it is also important for us to know that YMCA evolved out of a transformed mind. Maybe George Williams, in that environment, saw something, the need of society. So as a believer, he started this movement. Some call it active kind of engagement, sports and other extracurricular activities. So I think that helps to build up the character of a person. In today's world where everybody is stuck up with mobile, which is going to cause one of the most problematic concerns in the current as well as the future, I think YMCA should continue to reflect that, you know, the very idea of becoming a body that is keeping young people engaged physically, sports and maybe social activities or maybe other kinds of things that take them away from this mobile. I think, of course, that is it's a big thought, but still, I think YMCA, as embodied by the founder, was to be something in society, to be seen, you know, not to be insulated, but to be seen, to be doing things. So I wish also that we can do that, because I think Andrew Otto is definitely a very capable person who can who can connect to various schools, because he has, you know, a lot of goodwill. So he can utilize that at least in this level of activity, physical activity. Not necessarily only sport. It can be any kind of thing that we can be seen to be doing social work or any kind of things, like even charity works, whatever. And also that we need to, of course, to say that Northeast people need to know each other is, I don't think it's so much of a priority with what I feel, because we all know each other well. Mizos knows the Nagas know the Mizos, Khasis know Nagas know Khasis. And so it's not that, there's no such wall that separates us. We all essentially the same. So if we can move out after more, encourage more doing things together, I think we can build up something quite impressive. Because Northeast India is definitely a place where great things can happen if the people only can get their acts together. They have so much of inherent potential. You know? Why do people like to come to the Northeast? There's nothing, but the people make the difference. It's not just the scenery alone, but it's the people that make the difference. So we need to develop that, and I think YMCA can do a lot of things. Tourism, and then ecotourism, or whatever. So many things. These are becoming spoken so much of. But we need the people. We don't need the buildings. We don't need the arenas. We don't need the halls. We don't need all those grounds to attract tourists. We need the people. It's people to people. So let's also try to think of how we can explore those avenues. Well, I wouldn't like to take much time, but in one way also I'd like to encourage all of us to know that by being together in any event, it also promotes, good relationship among us. And also for YMCA, if they can think of maybe having a kind of online, Dr. Andrew, online website, interactive, and like for today's thing, you can give a full detail and then even the views of all the respected leaders of YMCAs of various districts. I think we can have an online that will be very good because those who don't also can keep themselves updated. And also, even interactive section also with video. Nowadays, so many people on YouTube can do that. So that will encourage some of the young ones to be engaged. Well, I have just this much to say, but I hope and pray that the YMCA will definitely do more than what we are doing because we are capable of doing more. And let us show that we are indeed the evolution of a transformed mind. Like the Bible says, be transformed by the renewal of the mind, but be not conformed to the world. So all this I leave you and wish you all the best.
So, my name is, as mentioned, Joe Arzathala. So, I'm from Mizoram, from Aizawl. And I'm like, it's due to God's willing that I've become a board member representing Northeast in the National Council of YMCAs of India. And I'm in two boards which are very important to the YMCA. One is the property committee, the property subcommittee. So YMCAs all over India has got a lot of properties, which like I see most of the students here, which a lot of students can avail. We have a lot of hostels all over India, and we have two in UK. So these are all the UK properties known as the Indian Students Hostel. So we look. So this year, luckily, like from Northeast, only 7 from all over India. There are 7 board members, of which I'm one of them, and the other one is called Youth Department. So, a lot of youth programs this year. This 3 we have it for triennial for 3 years. So will be held in the Northeast. Let's hope we can do. I want to say that compassion by itself has never been enough. So in the YMCA, it's always been, and it will always be, that compassion must be practical. We have to be very practical, especially in the YMCA family. Reaching out, what we do in the YMCA is we reach out to a lot of people. So reaching out to others to provide what seems the ordinary things which sustain life, educated. Since you cannot truly be with those you seek to help unless you know and are in sympathy with the crisis in their life. So we have to know that. This is what YMCA is all about. So, and continuing to be prepared to stand with them when the crisis passes, from the headlines, but their needs go on. So there we have to come, like, I am in the company of these people, those people. That's what compassion, practical, educated, and continuing. So these are the foundations of the YMCA all over the world, especially for us in the Northeast. For Dimapur, as rightly said, Auto is always there. And for us, our guest of honor, Pusong Vela, as rightly mentioned, is always there. From Shillong, we have a lot of YMCA members who are into these fields. And continuing Sir Jeffrey Adams' talk, so about all-round development. So YMCA, we all know that basketball was invented by a YMCA person. So James Naismith. He had a big challenge before him when he was working for the YMCA. So how do he that time his boss, Dr. Gillett, he had assigned him with a particular class that who were completely uninterested in their daily routine. So then they came up with the basketball. So now basketball has grown so much. So these are all YMCA's invention. So the first basketball team consisting of 9 players and the coach that was in Springfield College in UK. It was in 1891. And you imagine it's such an old game. So in 1891. So that is what YMCA is all about. So being healthy is not about focusing on physical health only, but also healthy in spirit as well. So in YMCA, we grow and develop as much spiritually as we are able to help out physically. So the YMCA triangle, you see, it's all about body, mind and spirit, where we all have to grow in these 3 spheres. So I just wanted to share just one simple story. Since lots of students are here also, like a lot of young YMCA members. So like once a small kid was asking the teacher, he saw the gas balloon, so he wanted to buy the gas balloon. So they were different colors, red, green, yellow. So he asked his teacher, the student, the young kid, that I want the red one. So which will go up the highest? So the teachers said that, any of them can go as high. What about the green one? So he kept on asking. There were a lot of questions because kids ask a lot of questions. So finally, the teacher he said that it's not the color which matters. It is what is filled inside it, the gas, which matters. So when you come to learning, wherever you are, so it is not your color, from where you come, where your background is. It is what is filled inside you, what is going to be filled inside you. That matters. So that is what even in the YMCA we learn about. We have to grow in no matter even we talk a lot about the C in YMCA, the Christ-centeredness also. But in general, we accept all faiths, all religion, all tribes, everything. So YMCA is open about everything. So there's even famous personalities like Elon Musk. I hope we all know him, Elon Musk, the billionaire. He started his first company with his brother in a very small rented place, and he even said in his interview that he used to take bath in the YMCA. He had that was just a few decades ago, before he became famous. So those are the things. That is how he built his company. So about tomorrow, I don't know whether we're going to hear about it, but in the Indian YMCA, India, as we are a part of the Indian YMCA, it was established in 1854. So the first YMCA was in Calcutta in 1854, but which was continued for a short spell. Then in 1875, it continued on in Bombay, which we call Mumbai, and then in Trivandrum. So we now have around 700 plus YMCAs in India only, and we have 14 projects in all the 23 states, in 23 states and 3 union territories, and we have 2 projects in UK, which I mentioned earlier. That is the Indian student hostel. So a lot of students going to UK for further studies and all. So they avail this student hostel. So whenever you all want also, you can avail this. So I think I have said quite long enough. So come, I want to invite you all to come and let us all grow well in body, mind, and spirit. Thank you.
I'm delighted to hear the beautiful complex of Livingstone Foundation International once again. I vividly remember the day we had a regional council meeting in this very hall some years ago, when we received a very warm welcome and memorable hospitality from the host YMCA, the Mapo YMCA in general, and Dr. Andrew's family in particular. We only remember the day with a good time here, a good host, and we always talk about the context of Livingstone School. I'm grateful to the host YMCA for making such wonderful and perfect arrangement for the delegates. I also feel privileged and honored to have an opportunity of being a guest of honor to share a few of my thoughts with you on the selected team leadership and responsibility. Leadership is something many people aspire for without actually understanding the responsibility it carries, or the stewardship of a leader, especially in Christian communities like ours. So many times we do not understand what our leaders are doing, and we get disappointed and disillusioned. Or we may be the leaders disappointing those who look to us for leadership. There are different kinds of leadership with quite different responsibilities, like public leader, political leaders, church leaders, community leaders, then leaders of various fields of governance. The leaders must understand their responsibilities and they should lead from the front. They should not follow the others. They should lead from the front. There are some leaders who want to exercise the powers of leaders, but they are trying to avoid their responsibilities. There are some people of that kind. People, they want to listen to somebody, they want to take advice, but they do not want to lead from the front. At the same time, there are some people who always try to criticize their leaders without knowing what kind of problems or difficulties their leaders are facing. As Christians, we should pray for the leaders, and the leaders also should pray for the people they lead. There is a concept called dabbling discipleship, which essentially looks at the example of dabblings, following a mother duck, where all dabblings walk behind the mother duck in a row. The ducklings are here, play a dual role of leaders and followers. A duckling follows its father, or another duckling, and leads the duckling walking behind it. One needs to understand that a leader is not all-knowing, nor is he all-powerful, and does not need to be. He does need to be a step ahead in order to lead. And he also needs to be a follower of the mother duck in God's kingdom, Jesus Christ. It is important not to fall into the trap of thinking that we need to know everything in order to become leaders, or think that our leaders are infallible. Instead, we ought to take the Apostle Paul's example in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1, when he said, "Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ." Having firmly established this principle of being a leader and follower, let us now look at 4 areas of responsibility for a Christian leader using concept found in Psalm 23. Number 1, being a provider. In Psalm 23:1, David says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Leaders are responsible to see that those within their charge are able to access provision for their spiritual and personal well-being and development. This does not mean that leaders should simply provide nourishment. to all those they are responsible for. As the popular teach a man to fish principle expounds, it is the leader's responsibility to equip others to access provisions and feed themselves for physical and spiritual nourishment. Secondly, protection and security. Everyone likes to be in a place or a group where we feel safe and secure. When we read verse Psalm 23:4, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. We understand that it is not about the complete elimination of all danger. Instead, it is about the sense of security that the Lord's presence gives. A leader is responsible for providing a secure place to others, a place where they can grow and develop. Thus, as we look through our political leader for security or geographical boundaries, a phenomenon well known in this part of the region. A Christian leader is looked upon to provide a safe place that gives freedom to the spirit of his followers to grow and thrive. Understanding the right balance of freedom and control, the role of discipline, and the need to provide protection in the face of danger are all important components of this area of responsibility. Number 3, guidance and direction. In Psalm 23, verse 2 and 3, we read, He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He guides me in the path of righteousness. A leader's responsibility in Christian community is not to dictate, but to guide. This guidance may sometimes be for rest, lie down in a green pasture, and at other times for action. Lead me beside quiet waters, but at all times in the path of righteousness. Instead of carving others' idea and unworthy, a leader should know when and where to give or withhold counsel so that his followers will walk the righteous path. Number 4 and the last one is motivation and encouragement. The analogy behind Psalm 23 verse 4, when it says, Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Is that the rod and staff were used to walk and sweat sick so that they keep moving in the right direction, a means of motivation and encouragement. In the Bible, we have many examples of God sending leaders to His people to motivate and impart vision to His people. In our own times and His stories too, we have seen leaders inspiring entire communities to rise up and act. Motivating people is completely different from issuing orders or instructions. It is more about exciting people to the extent of wanting to and follow as one. Even in the school, the parents and his team also must be knowing that if you want some people, your students something to do, instead of giving order, direction all the time, motivation is very important. If you motivate, if you tell them what to do, how to do, then easily they will follow. That's what it is said here. It is the leader's responsibility to be able to excite followers to act and thereafter encourage them to continue the good work. So encouragement first and after do something good. That's very important. The world has seen a lot of great leaders in different fields. Even within the church and in Christian communities, we have ourselves big witness leaders who have shouldered their responsibilities with great ability, inspiring entire generations. On the other hand, there have been also been leaders who come up strong but did not last. There can be many studies and in-depth analysis done on such cases. As Christian leaders, however, our role as leaders and followers overlap at all times. We should constantly keep on the path our Lord Jesus Christ has prepared for us, even as we try to lead others along that path. I hope and wish that we shall all try to be good and responsible leaders. May God bless whatever thought I have thus shared with you. Thank you so much.